Welcome to another cycle of Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, a family podcast created for the next generation. Grandma Smarge can't wait to see what you'll become, Monk and Little Al. Live, pre-recorded from our family laundry room with Smarge, Haas, and sometimes Otter, and always not the real guest. Here we hang it on the line with everyday ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. In the room where famous people are loved, adored, and admired, however, not invited, except for the great Willie Nelson, of course. Thanks for joining us in the laundry room while we fold through life's journeys. Here, we're keeping it real, washing through stains, and making colors a little bit brighter.
Hey, Smarge.
Hey, Haas. Hey, Otter.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
It's going.
We are back in the laundry room, still under construction, but nice to be back in the laundry room.
Yeah, it really is. We were moving around our stuff into different rooms and platforms, and it was getting hectic, and things were breaking and getting lost, but we're back.
We're back, and the laundry room podcast reno is coming along and looks pretty snazzy. Check it out on our Insta.
Yeah. Check it out on the Instagram.
Very
We're coming
exciting.
along.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear my funny story?
Yeah, what
last
happened?
week?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
So I was in a big virtual meeting,
Uh-huh.
and the way we do it, we have like 70 nurses, and we're split up between 5 offices. And so we're supposed to meet in our individual offices, but still do the virtual meeting with everybody.
Uh-huh.
So we're sitting in this virtual meeting, and all of a sudden, you know how it goes, where sometimes people don't realize they're muted or unmuted.
Oh, God, yeah. I love when that happens. Well, not when it doesn't happen to me.
But it's not you, right? And so luckily it wasn't me, but another nurse. All of a sudden we just hear her like come on, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm in this virtual meeting and I'm just not even paying attention."
Oh, no. Oh,
And then she realized pretty quickly, and she like muted herself again. But it was
The
just,
worst.
that's like the worst thing that could happen,
say.
because like your name lights up. It's like so and so is talking, and she's just like, "I'm not even paying attention."
You can usually play it off if you like start talking or something, like you have a question or something, but literally there's no plan that off.
No, we all were just
no.
like, "Wow, so glad that's not me."
Did anyone address it or say anything about it?
Oh, we all were kind of like, "Who was that? Who was that?" And I'm like, "I don't know who that was, but I won't throw her under the bus." So.
You just
Very
scream her
nice
name.
of you.
I saw.
It's you.
What is the etiquette like for virtual meetings like that? I mean, and like, would you throw someone under the bus, or does everybody pretend they don't know who it was?
I mean, I think it depends on who you are. I'm not going to throw someone under the bus, but
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Depends on who you are. But
Yeah. Those virtual meetings, man. You'd think you'd have it down by now. It's, 3 years now we've been doing these virtual meetings? Always
hey, we're
check
all
the
learning.
mute.
Hey, some of us take a little longer than others.
I
okay?
know. No, I get it. I check the mute button
Man,
16
harsh.
times before I
I know.
saying,
I'm like, am I on? Am
did
I
I
off? Am
unmute?
I on? Am I off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the camera.
The
God
camera,
forbid.
especially if you like get up or you're like,
Oh, man. That's
have you ever had to like bring the computer into the bathroom with you because you're like, I really have to go?
yeah. And that's
But-
my worst nightmare because I'm like,
Yeah.
is the camera on? And maybe I just can't tell.
Yeah.
It looks like it's not.
Yeah. I'm like, I swear to
Why
God.
would you even take that risk?
Because you can't miss the content of the
would
meeting, but you gotta
nicely
go.
leave it
I
outside
usually-
the bathroom
I
door
would
and hope
put
I hear.
headphones on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done that before, like my
there's no way.
AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not risk
Yeah.
it.
But
But
you know,
anyway.
carrying a little otter sometimes it's just gotta go.
Yeah, that reminds me of one time when I was doing a virtual training when it was like probably 2020 or 2021. You know, everyone was doing the virtual thing, and I was running this training. So it's not like I could have like stopped what I was doing and went off camera and muted myself.
You were like the presenter.
Right. So I was like,
So everyone's looking at you.
right. And then this also happened to be the time where I lived in a tiny apartment with one of our good friends, and then both of our puppies, and they are only like 3 months apart, I think. And one of them came out. I couldn't even remember who started this fiasco, but one of them came out into the living room right where I was presenting and just started pooping all around the living room. And I'm just like trying to keep it cool, like don't freak out, like it's fine, like I'll
no.
figure it out as I'm just presenting this content. The other puppy comes out. And she's like, "Oh, well, we can poop in here? Cool." And so she's pooping in the living room, and they're just playing and fighting and running. And it's like first thing in the morning. It's probably like 7 a.m. And so my roommate's sleeping, her boyfriend's with her, and then my boyfriend was in my room sleeping. I'm texting all three of them, like, if someone doesn't get out here right now, I'm going to freak out. Like, someone needs to help me with this poop tornado going on. in my living room, please. And like literally, it must have been 10, 15 minutes before someone actually came to help me. And I was just like getting so frustrated, acting so cool. I mean, I'm sure someone must have caught on that
Someone
my
saw the
face
shit
was
behind
like,
you. And was like,
yeah. Oh, it was a nightmare. I was like, this is horrible. This is why we don't do virtual meetings. But anyway, guys, I also have a confession.
oh, tell us, Haas. Tell us.
We might as well do a clean confession now that we're back
Clean
in the laundry
confession
room.
time, and this one's embarrassing, but from last season, we had our good friend C-Lew on, and he was talking about, river surfing, and he was kind of explaining to us what
Oh dear
the
Lord,
difference
please
between
don't, please don't. Oh dear Lord.
the difference between a wetsuit and a dry suit, and I
Yep.
still don't
Yep.
get it. I know it. I know it's ridiculous. He explained it several times, but got a little drunk on that podcast, and I just can't remember. I can't remember the difference.
All
I know.
right. Well, good news and good luck is that we have C-Lew here today. So, C-Lew, do you care to clear the laundry and sort it out with us?
Yes, and
Yeah.
thank you again for a second time.
Of
Yeah,
course, of
welcome
course.
back.
Of course.
You were one of our favorites last year or last season, and we wanted to invite you back to show you that we can behave a little more professionally. We hope.
I
this
thought
go
it was
around.
it was about as professional as I could be last time.
You were our favorite guest, but my least favorite to edit. I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Editing
Yeah, a
You
little
know?
too much fun.
I get that a lot. Like, that's
And
totally
that's,
fine.
and that's when Otter put the Oakway studio on a 3. I like to say a 3-shot
I know.
minimum, but no, it's a maximum.
Yeah, no, it's a maximum,
Yeah.
and it's actually one shot max before we record, and then
Yeah.
She's
and then
cracking
one
it
in
out.
between.
In
and then-
between,
Really
right, okay,
strict
so-
rules.
Gotta crack it
Which
down.
we needed. We
I
need
know.
it. We misbehaved.
Honor-
But thank
honor
you
the
for
warden.
coming back. And
Yeah,
how was your
yeah.
summer?
Yeah, of course.
C-Lew redo.
Super good, super good. All right, so let's clear the air super quick. Dry suit, wetsuit.
Yeah.
Okay. And the nice thing is, I know for a fact that as of today, you actually know the difference because
know now.
you have worn a wetsuit as of today.
Yep.
But the big difference between a wetsuit and a dry suit, as you already know after going out on the boat, like a wetsuit is super tight. It's made out of neoprene. It lets water into the suit, and the water actually like matches the temperature of your
Okay.
body.
That's right.
That's
It's
what-
like Spanx for the water.
It's like Spanx. It's like
Love
spandex, like a Mission Impossible suit. It's what you see everyone surfing
Well
in the
explained.
ocean. Yep,
right.
exactly. And then a dry suit is going to be more what you see kayakers in, a little bit looser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks a little bit
Now
more
you
like they're
say
wearing
that.
a jacket, but
Yeah.
really it's fully connected all the way down, and it's just keeping all water out of the suit.
So it's,
Like-
and it's
so that's the
it's
one you
more
don't
sealed. It's
want to
more-
pee in. Do
exactly.
not pee in a
Correct.
dry suit.
Exactly. Do
Actually,
not,
will not be
pee.
dry.
Yeah.
Right. It
You
makes more
probably
sense.
should not
Okay.
pee in any of
Any
your
suit. Any
However,
suit. But
yes,
it
that's-
does happen.
yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
you know?
but yeah, because it's more sealed, like at your neck and your ankles and your
Yeah.
wrists, correct? Right.
That's
Yeah.
for like Arctic water.
I was
you
going
know?
to say,
That's-
you
yeah.
wear that for super cold water. it sounds
Super
like.
cold water.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. So that's the difference there.
All right.
So.
It makes more sense
Thanks
now
for
that I'm a little
clearing
more
that up.
sober.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
For the 7th time now.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And I got the privilege of wearing my first wetsuit, so maybe that's what really made it click
I was
for
like,
me.
hey, we're gonna make sure that you know the difference.
Yeah,
So,
you guys need to let Otter know, like what we did.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
tell me
Oh,
about
no.
your,
You let him know. You let him know.
We'll do it together.
Okay, we'll tell everybody.
tell me about your little adventure.
Yeah, so Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions went on a little road trip, went a little field trip, and went, did some surfing lessons, skiing lessons, and wakeboarding lessons. So we took out, Smarge was nice enough to reserve some spots for us on the boat, kind of near our studio. And we took the boat out, and Smarge got back on the skis for the first time in what?
6 years.
6
Nice.
years after
Sick.
her
After
two spinal
yeah,
surgeries.
2 spinal surgeries, 1 hand surgery, so it was a little iffy if I was going to get up.
And
you
she
know?
Do you
killed
solve?
it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got up right away
She
on
did
1.
great.
Yeah.
We'll have to
did.
show you the video.
Didn't even
we'll
go
post it on
for 2.
Instagram.
Didn't even go.
I
for
didn't
2.
even go
Just
for
went
2.
straight
I
to
was just
slalom.
like, no, and I jumped right in, and
Yep.
the minute I jumped in, like all my nervousness went away.
Oh, that's
it was
beautiful.
crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy
She tore it
wonderful.
up.
Just
And then
comes right
I
back.
swear, the way I like to tell the story is I popped right up, and I swear the sun came out.
It
Pretty
really
much.
did.
Because-
It really
much.
did.
Because the day before, it was, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was raining horribly.
Yeah.
Even the morning.
In the morning was
Even that morning, and I talked to the guy, and he says, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "As long as it's not lightning or windy, I will show up." And he says, "All right."
Nice.
So-
Marge asked me in
run
the
it.
morning if I wanted to go, and I was like, "Have you looked outside?" Like, I don't know.
I'm
you
like,
seen
"Come on, we can
Seen a
do it. We
window
can
to
do
do
it."
it?
But it was
And
beautiful.
then who showed up in our driveway with a wetsuit and board and ready to go with us?
Hey, I heard
We were
there was
so-
surf going on.
Yeah.
There's no flow right now.
So did you
I
bring
said-
your surfboard and
I
like
did.
surf
He
behind the boat?
did.
I
Yeah.
did. I will.
Nice.
Well,
Sort of.
Tried.
So all right. So I tried to wake surf, and I was able to stand up and everything,
Yeah.
but there's just, I don't know. They said something was wrong with the motor. I was too fat or something. I don't know what it was.
No,
but
no.
like,
Something was, they had programmed it earlier or something. Something had gone wrong with the programming or something, I guess. And so we just couldn't get over 8 miles an hour.
yeah,
But-
it was,
Oh.
He honestly
So you-
had it. If the boat could have gone to the right speed, he would have.
I mean,
gotten
he-
it.
Wait,
He
so
was
the
still
boat
up.
wouldn't go above 8 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Because
Correct.
don't you need at least like 15
To
to really
plane.
be
That's what
like
they said.
Honestly,
skiing?
surfing's
That-
probably
that
only
was the-
10. We used a different boat for skiing.
But you
Oh,
also,
then we got on
okay.
another
I was
boat.
like, because I've definitely wakeboarded, skied,
skeet. Yeah.
and it's definitely like 15 to 30 miles an hour.
yeah.
Right,
definitely.
right.
So we did.
Okay.
We did that with her boat for the first run,
Okay.
and then we switched boats, and then that boat didn't
Yeah.
work. So then we had to switch boats again,
Again.
Okay.
and then we switched boats again. Actually,
what a debacle.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It was sort of funny. We just kept every 5 minutes.
Oh, but
we
they
were switching
handled it
boats.
great.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were cool.
They did.
about
They
it.
were awesome.
They gave us
Okay.
all our time.
and
so.
gosh,
Shout
I'm
out to
trying
those
to remember.
guys.
Yeah, shout out to
Bruce.
Bruce at, I'm trying to remember the name. It's Soda Lake or it's Soda Lakes.
Cool little community over there. Bunch
Yeah,
of
they
dudes
were
you could tell are
awesome.
just trying to get their last little bit of stoke in. So it was really sick for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so glad you got to
it's-
come with us.
Rocky Mountain Ski and Wake at Soda Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that rhymes. They should
Hey.
hire someone to do a song.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Maybe
Right.
we'll do a
Rocky
little.
Mountain ski and wake at Soda Lake.
Nice.
I like that at the end. Yeah, that's good.
So we also do marketing on the side.
Yeah.
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 If you want to
You know,
We do.
sponsor us.
Actually, one of us does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
One of us
Yeah,
does,
it's
yeah.
not
I'll
bad.
reach
That's
out. I'll
us.
see if they
That's
want to do
us.
an ad for us.
Hook it up.
Yeah.
So C-Lew,
Yeah.
obviously you guys did some waking, some skiing.
It's a blast, and we're going back
Some
too,
boating.
which will be fun. But
Cool.
go
When are you
ahead.
guys going back?
Next Friday?
And
Alright.
Otter, we should have sent you. Because we're going to do a little company picnic.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Our
a
podcast
I
Podcast
did
company.
see that. We do have our company picnic.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're just gonna do
Okay.
it there because they have a little grill. They said bring
Yeah.
some brats or bring just a
Yeah.
couple things.
Okay. We'll talk
So we were
deets.
like, this will be great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our little company picnic.
Company
and,
picnic.
and
Yeah.
also this should be the time we meant to do this at the beginning. I'm so sorry, but C-Lew is going to be our guest host for season 2.
That's right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
So
forgot
thank
about
you
that.
so much. Thank you so much
Yeah, of
for
course.
taking this on.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I love to talk. So
Welcome. You
Yeah.
are our Sean what Sean Hayes was to Ellen DeGeneres when she was doing her talk show.
that's what I'm
I think
shooting
I
Sean
for.
don't
Hayes
know
is
who
one of-
Sean Hayes is.
Me.
I know who Twitch is.
I know who
Will and
Twitch is.
Grace. Did you ever watch Will and Grace, the sitcom? And then
Oh,
it came
yeah.
back again. And Sean Hayes also has a podcast with Justin
Smartless.
Bateman
Yeah, that's
and
his name.
Will Arnett
Mhm.
called
Smartless.
Wait,
Smartless.
Jason Bateman?
What did I say, Justin?
Well, you said Justin, but is it Jason
It's
Bateman?
Jason.
Oh,
Sorry,
I love
it's
Jason
Jason,
Bateman.
yeah.
And Will Arnett.
And he does
Really
this
funny.
with Will Arnett. So they do this
Okay.
podcast. But anyway, if anybody ever watched Ellen DeGeneres, which was an afternoon
Yeah.
show,
I love
I
Ellen.
love Ellen.
I think Sean Hayes was one of the first that did a guest host spot for her, so she could finally
Oh,
take
I didn't
vacation.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, C-Lew's like
So-
just really good at producing stuff anyway. He has his own YouTube channel. And
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. And I'm right down the street, and
Yeah.
we're all homies. So,
Yeah.
you know, we all get my new shredding partners.
Yeah.
You know, so
Exactly,
go hit the lake together
exactly.
for
Yeah.
sure. And me and Otter have been super good friends for a while now. So,
Forever.
family, friends. So, super stoked. Yeah,
Yeah.
really happy
Keeping
to
it
join.
tight.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, so on that note, you weren't able to really get up on the surf.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, you need
How'd you know about that?
We have Allie here as well.
I didn't tell him anything.
I had 20 beers. 20 beers, okay?
And she
I didn't
just
mean
never
it that
let
way.
me
I
live
just
it
meant
down.
the boat was not working with his surfing
Yeah,
adventure.
but
But how
But
does
he
it
did
differ
get up,
between?
and he did stay up, which was amazing.
How does
because the
wake surfing differ between?
The
River
The
surfing.
river surfing. So, I mean, the biggest
Because
thing.
that was your first time. Wake
yeah, that was my first time ever
boat,
behind a
what?
boat.
You know what? Smarge was there. Smarge witnessed.
It was
I
his
did
first
not
time
realize
ever,
It was your first time
which is why he
waking
couldn't
ever.
get it up.
Yeah, so
I've
I've
awesome.
wakeboarded before, but it was in I
heard that, Otter.
I wakeboarded in like 6th and 7th grade. This kid down the street had a boat, and I used to go with his family up to like Horsetooth and would wakeboard. So I sort of had like a little bit of understanding.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it was definitely very different. Like first off, the wave is moving, so that's
gotta
pretty.
be
That's
weird.
pretty wild.
Oh, okay. I'm like, the wave is always moving, but I get what you're saying. It's
It's like
moving from
at
point A to point
point
B.
B,
Yeah, you're
where as
not-
opposed to being a standing wave,
Yeah.
that's just a stationary left to
And you are
right.
stationary on your
board.
board.
Well,
you're
I'm moving on
the
my board. But
You're moving the board, but the board's not going anywhere.
Exactly. So, but I mean, it was definitely a little bit different, and the wave itself is actually angled. You know, there's a left and a right, whereas on the
Like
river,
a wake, yeah.
yeah, there's a left and a right wake, which there's a left and a right in the ocean as well. That's the
Oh,
way
really?
That's the way that the wave breaks is either left or right. Before you stand up, you can like tell. Well, if you're good enough, you can tell it's either going left or right. But in the river, it's not like that at all. Every hole is just straight. You know, so you're moving left and right. So that was definitely different. And it was pretty gnarly that there was like a propeller. Like,
Right.
I kept looking down, and Allie,
I'm like,
Allie
I don't
told
want
me-
you to get any closer. That's what I kept thinking.
But you
Don't get
have
You
close.
had
to.
to.
You
I felt
have
like you
to.
had to,
That's
right?
the
Get it,
sweet
but then
spot
I'm
is
like,
right
you
there.
know what? If you have to get that close, let's not do this.
Yeah,
Let's
it was.
do something else.
It was pretty
It's kinda
crazy.
scary.
So I was
And Allie was
watching it,
even
but
telling me, "Watch
if
out
you
for
were
that
in
propeller."
control, I would have
kinda
been like,
scary.
nope, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
but you knew what you're doing, and
I felt like I knew what I was doing. It felt very similar, you know. Like I felt
please,
like if
anyone
it
that's just
could have
learning
gone
to ski.
quicker, I could have definitely figured it out.
Well, and I
Oh,
think
you had
wake
it. It was
surfing,
just, it was a little too white and obviously just not fast enough.
Yeah.
You were like basically in the exact spot you needed to be, but if the boat was just moving
Just not enough.
2 miles an hour faster, you would have had it.
Heck.
for
which
sure.
is not your fault. It's the boat's fault.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I did wakeboard a little bit.
8
That was
miles an
fun.
hour, the boat
Yeah.
does not
Yeah,
plane
you
out.
did.
Well, and the
Tore it up.
nice thing about that is you don't have to get close to the propeller because you have a rope.
The wakeboard was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You should try wake skating. Have you tried wake skating?
That sounds like the best.
What
of
is
all
that?
worlds.
Yeah. So it's like something I'm like so much better at than wakeboarding.
I was gonna say Otter
What?
loves to
I
wake
love
skate.
wake skate.
How do I not
Yeah.
know that? I've never
Because
heard
you're
of this
not
sport.
strapped into the board.
Yeah,
So it's
you're
just
just
like a
standing there.
wakeboard, but you're standing on it, but you still get the rope.
Yeah, and they have like pop and stuff, right?
Yeah,
People like
so it's like
ollie.
the best of all
It
worlds.
is fun.
I wonder if they have one of those there. We'll have
Actually,
to
I
try
think
it.
they did. That board in the back of the boat was the black one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a
It was a
wake
wake
skate
skate?
because it
Okay.
has the two
Okay.
Fins.
stomp pads essentially
Oh,
for
okay.
your feet,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe it's
Well,
just
for
the
our
one on the
listeners,
back.
we will
Anyway,
put some
I think they
pictures
did.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Super excited.
Some sweet videos of us tearing it up.
Shredding the knot.
So what were the rivers like this? I got to ask this summer because it seemed like a strange summer to me, you guys. I don't know how you felt, but I feel like a lot more rain than usual,
Oh
So much rain.
and more coolness and cold than usual.
Yeah.
We had some hot days, of course, but
Lots of hail.
we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
hail,
Yeah,
lots
for
of all
once.
that. So what were the rivers like? What did this do?
It was crazy. It was I mean, since I've been in the river now 3 years, and it's been the craziest I've ever seen it. And after I have a bunch of buddies who've been riding for like 10 plus years, and they're like they haven't seen it like this since 2012. And back
Wow.
then,
Wow.
I'd say probably 70%, 75% of the waves that we have right now weren't even built. So
That's
Right, because you were saying
So-
just recently, a lot of them have been built.
yeah, a lot of the waves have really been, they really started to pop up in 2012. Like that was like the first big one that we had in
Yeah.
Denver, and since then we've had like 4 or 5.
And maybe for our listeners that haven't listened to season 1, can you just do a brief, like what you're talking about there?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
These waves, just a brief.
Definitely.
description.
So yeah, these
Thanks.
waves are all standing waves, which means that they're basically in the middle of a river, and the water is running down the river towards a slope. And once the water hits this slope, it actually kicks back towards you and creates a wave. And my best reference for listeners is actually just go onto Google real quick and type in standing wave surfing.
Or look at our Insta.
Yeah. Oh.
Because we have.
Scratch that. Don't go to Google. Screw Google. They ain't paying us
Go to
nothing.
the Instagram.
Yeah, you're going to our Instagram and you're gonna check out some videos.
And you're also on YouTube as well.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
You're gonna check out our Instagram and YouTube, and check out the videos of me river surfing. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked about it. This season was just phenomenal. It absolutely just went off. There was a few times that I was pretty dang scared just because I thought I was a strong swimmer, but I've never seen water like that before.
Well, hey, C-Lew, did I tell you we're starting a new segment this season called Skidmark Cycles
Yep.
in the laundry room.
Yep.
And I think we all know what we mean.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we're talking about those events that happen that really do literally scare the poop right out of us.
Yeah.
You said that.
I had a couple of those this season, so I could definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll say I had so many this season. To be
dear.
completely fair, I probably had 5 or 6 this year, and I don't like to talk about them a whole lot, especially considering my wife's in the room, and I'm like, oh, I got this every time I go out.
I was
Close
just
your
going to say,
ears.
why don't you pick the one you feel safest?
Yeah,
to
no,
talk
definitely.
about?
Okay, so I'll talk about the one that really brought me to like open my eyes about safety.
And do
Were you
wear
wearing
your
your helmet?
I wasn't.
Yes.
Okay, so to be fair, I wasn't wearing anything.
See,
Oh, you're
Yeah,
naked.
so I
Nikki.
and I know everyone's sort of coming down on me on this podcast about not wearing a helmet, but you're really gonna freak out when you find out that like I don't wear a life vest either ever. Like I don't know. I just don't.
That's
Even if
so
you did, it wouldn't
dangerous.
be Coast Guard approved.
Approved? Yeah, my life vest got
Yeah, he couldn't
rejected
wear
at
his
the
life
boat.
jacket at the boat when we went.
Wait,
Wake
really?
surfing. Yeah, they
you
wouldn't let
brought
him
your
wear
own
it.
life vest and they
They're like,
denied it?
Nope.
Well, it's
And
barely
then-
a life jacket. It's
Yeah.
like so thin.
It looked like
sick.
it
It
an
looks
Eddie
cool.
Bauer, like one of those vests you wear in the winter.
Like a winter vest, like a
Yeah.
puffy vest. That
but
you
not
wear for-
puffy, like
Oh.
the thin,
Yeah,
like when you go for
super
that
thin.
thin.
Oh, like the
look.
Like a cowboy.
fleece.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Cowboy.
gonna fly.
It was cool.
It's not gonna
I
float.
learned, I
I
learned
just
that.
thought it was so
They
cute.
wouldn't even let it right in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took it back to the.
They're like, we
the
don't want
dock and
anyone to
everything.
mistake this for an actual
Yeah.
life preserver.
Yeah.
which,
like, we're good.
which I'm pretty sure it floated still.
It
but
did float. It does, and I will tell you, it does float
But
because
so can I say, C-Lew, don't let that discourage you. If you want to wear that, wear it.
I'm going to.
Okay,
yeah,
wear
Heck yeah.
that one.
Heck
It's
yeah.
better than nothing.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. So I
So
bought
wear that
that one specifically because of the situation. So
okay.
we had a lot of water coming through Denver for about 3 weeks,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it was more water than the waves could even handle, except for one particular wave called Benihana's. And this wave is insane. It's
Where is it located?
It's located same wave park that I go to in Denver. It's
Okay,
off of
right.
Oxford and
oh, right.
Oxford and Sheridan. It's called River Run Park,
Mm-hmm.
and this wave was just absolutely pumping. You know, tons of water. We measure the flow by CFS, which is
Mm-hmm.
cubic feet per second by the
Yep.
water. This was at like 2,500 CFS.
Ooh.
Normally it's at 600 to
That's
give you an idea.
insane.
So it was pretty heavy. Anyways, I went out there with a buddy of mine, surfed a little bit, caught a couple waves, felt really good. I lost my board and I was stuck on a rock and I had my board was just going down river, so I decided
Oh shit.
I'm going to jump in and let the river take me down and I'm going to go after my board.
God.
Oh
Well, I
my
jumped-
God.
Was that the best decision?
I thought it was. Well, it was either that.
Well, I'm not sure what else you would do. Like,
Yeah.
what were your choices here?
My choices were either
Okay.
jump into the river and let it take me downstream,
But you had
or
your feet first. Right?
feet first.
Yeah.
And you
Or-
know this. You know this.
Yep, definitely,
emergency
especially in the
drill type-
river.
Right, right.
Or I could try to walk up all these rocks that are covered in water,
Oh.
and
No, no,
Flip
no.
no,
it,
then
die
you'll-
that way.
and I'll
Well,
lose
and-
my
yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Well, not just the board, but I do want to say something about these crazy falls. You know, you fall, you hit your head. I mean, that's usually what takes people out, unfortunately, especially us old people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you made the right choice in a way, because going up all those slippery rocks. What do you think?
And have you guys heard? I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like this summer in particular, there were more news stories about people like slipping and falling and dying in like national parks and like on hikes.
You're
and
kidding.
stuff.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
No, I swear, like
but
the
they said
media
it's
like
more.
blew it up this
Oh,
year.
well.
What do you attribute?
There's
that
quite a
to?
few
What do
people
you
that
think?
die in national parks and hiking
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well,
but yeah,
Haas knows this because she was like a tour guide, travel agent, tour guide.
tour guide. Yeah,
yeah. So
but yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But that's great. I didn't actually notice there was an influx this
Wow.
summer.
I mean,
but
yeah, the
I
media
wonder
was
if
all
scary.
over it.
I wonder if there
so-
was
Makes
more
sense.
rain.
There's definitely was more
slippery.
rain.
Yeah,
There was
things are
definitely
Probably
slippery.
more,
Yeah.
And
more
then moss,
mudslides.
Also
and rock-
mudslides, and then
rock
we
slides.
do actually sometimes get a certain type of moss that can grow when the water is just always right there. That's just super slippery.
And they shut down I-70 for
And
2 weeks again.
Us Colorado ones are just used to dry.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what to do when
Yeah,
it's
what
that
is all
nice.
this rain?
Yeah.
But so you recovered the board.
But you survived.
Barely.
You survived.
Yeah,
You
actually,
recovered
I
the
didn't
board.
recover the board, to be honest
Oh,
with you.
no.
I
I'm
jumped.
so
I found, I
sorry.
got it. I did get the board back, but I did not personally recover
Right.
it.
Okay.
I was lucky enough, and there was kayakers downstream that I didn't see. They were using another hole, and they saw the board come down and they grabbed it.
That's nice.
That
But
was
I jumped in, and the eddy grabbed me and brought me right back to where I was, and was holding me down, and I
my
couldn't get up, and I was like,
I'm dying.
this is it, and my buddy had
So
just
what
left.
is an eddy?
The eddy is so in a river, when the river comes down downstream, it breaks off every chute basically to the right side and the left side of the river, and when it breaks off, the water will circulate backwards.
and you can get
And
stuck
you
in
can
it.
get
Oh,
stuck
so
in
it just
that.
keeps
Yeah.
pulling you right back into
Exactly.
the same.
So there it goes down. So like you're going downstream, and as you're going downstream through different chutes, you'll notice like the water will start circulating to the right. Will start circulating
Okay.
to the
Is this
left.
You just
and-
get
pay
like
attention
stuck
to?
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay,
And a lot
okay.
of these parks build it so that there's an eddy on both sides. So regardless
Okay.
of where you fall, it'll bring you back.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
it's like
okay.
a little bit safer that way.
Right.
But in the natural rivers, there's like a random one to the right, a random one to the
Right,
left. You know?
It just
Okay.
sucks you
it'll
in.
just
like a
it'll
little
suck
toilet
you in,
bowl.
pull you
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
keep you in that area, and you can. I see a lot of dogs at like parks and stuff like that. I mean, they're not like dying or anything, but they get stuck in there and they're like,
Yeah,
freaking out, and
yeah.
you're like, dude, you're in an eddy, like you're
Yeah.
swimming the wrong way, like you know, you gotta
And
let it
but
figure
now
it
go.
out.
you understand. Now you were like stuck. So how did you finally break that?
Did
What
someone
do you
save
do?
you?
No one saved me. I was lucky enough. Like, I mean, I understand that eddy enough that I let it pull me under, and then when it holds you under, everyone does something different. I know a
Okay.
couple guys who will like roll up into a ball, and they'll say that it shoots them out. But me personally, like my
Like a cannon?
like I guess that's what they say.
Oh,
But my experience with wave pools is like actual wave pools at wave parks is if it pulls you under like that, as soon as you start kicking your feet like you're swimming, it shoots you out. So I just did that as much as I could, and it brought me back up.
Okay.
And then
Oh God.
Haas,
That's
do
so
you
scary.
remember
Ugh,
when
does
we were
sound
young,
scary.
like maybe 3rd or 4th grade, and we were at, I don't know, Illich Gardens or something. We were in the wave pool. And I don't know if they still do this, but they let people like bring all their like rafts in there.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
got stuck under one of the
yeah,
rafts.
I know.
And I remember I pulled you out.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
I
That's
think
actually
you
really
almost
scary.
died,
Yeah,
and-
it was
Oh
really
wow!
scary.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps. So, oh wow!
You
It's
saved
like
my
finding
life.
that
I
20
saved
in the
Haas's
dryer.
life.
seriously,
Do
That-
they still let the rafts? That just looked like
They still do that.
mayhem to me. Like
It-
I
you
gotta
didn't-
rent
a
them.
huge
That is
hassle.
one part of
Yeah.
parenting I never enjoyed was that Elitch's / water park. Did not ever enjoy that. And then when the wave
it's
thing would
so
start going,
scary.
I'm like, are you guys crazy?
Oh my
Well, it's so fun in the wave pool, but then they let the rafts in there, and then you get
Yeah.
stuck under there, and
Yeah.
And then
You
you
die.
have to
Under.
save
Seriously.
yeah,
Haas.
people die
Seriously.
that way.
I wonder
Well,
what the
thank
death
you,
rate is
Otter.
there.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
Honestly,
Yeah, we
not
don't have
great.
to pull that up.
Oh, my older brother used to be a lifeguard there. Actually.
Oh,
At Elitch's?
Right.
But like in the
Uh,
lazy river, I think.
Was it Elitch's or Waterworld?
Waterworld.
No, it was Illich's.
And this older
think it was
brother
it was Illich's. 'cause
is
It was
the father of Monk.
Little Monk.
Little Monk. Yeah.
who will be one
Shout
in like
out.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, his
Who-
birthday's coming
Yep.
up.
Little Monk and Little
Yeah,
Owl.
he
Why
was
we're
a
doing
lifeguard there,
this.
and then my dad actually was a lifeguard too. He had to
Oh,
save
wow.
several people with that same. Oh no, he was a lifeguard. This happened when he wasn't even a lifeguard. He saved someone at Waterworld from the same thing. They were trapped underneath
At the
the
wave pool.
in the wave pool,
Yeah.
underneath the
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 tube
raft.
things. Yeah.
and he like had to dive in and save this random kid. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta ban that. I mean, just either you know how to swim in a wave pool or you don't.
Well,
Don't just
also,
put rafts
not so
in
many
there.
Well, why don't
tubes, like-
when we use the wave pool, let's say, hey, you can't have your raft.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you can
if
have your
Yeah.
if you can have a
Just
flotation
people.
device if it is attached to your body.
Yeah,
But
Most-
other than
wings.
A lot of places there's like if you go to a lot of places with wave pools, like resorts and stuff now, you'll notice they've switched to vests. like life vests.
There you go. If you,
Like-
if
See,
you
that'd
need
be fun.
No,
Yeah,
no.
sort of flotation.
C-Lew, would those life vests be Coast Guard approved?
I
Or
believe
are they
I
just-
believe they're
What would they be?
they're probably as every approved as you could get. I'm
I
sure.
couldn't let
Coast
it
Guard,
go.
pool guard.
Is that the verbiage
everything.
they
All of
used?
it.
Is Coast Guard
Guard.
approved?
Yeah.
Because
It's fair. It's used a lot actually.
because Coast Guard is the ocean.
And what was
Yeah.
that?
Right.
What was
And
that
we don't have an ocean in
90s,
Colorado.
The beach the beach
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
Yeah.
Is it Baywatch approved?
Is Baywatch approved? It's not Baywatch approved. Those things were goofy. They're all
Those
big and bulky.
long-
They were all big and blocky and goofy looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those pictures, I apologize to all the fans how kooky we look in those goofy life vests.
Yeah.
But we had
Hey.
to wear them.
Oh, did we ever take a picture of my giant hole in my wetsuit?
No.
So, I love this story. It's one of my favorite stories right now. They have this shed there, and you go in, and they have life vests and wetsuits, and you just go in and you can pick and choose, and you can pick and choose your water ski and everything. And so Haas goes in, and I mean, I'm talking. There's a lot in there. Okay,
It's a big shed.
it's a big shed, and there's a lot to choose
Okay.
from. Haas comes out with, well, do you think this is okay? And from the front, she looks great. She turns around, she goes, but look at this. And there's a hole right there in the wetsuit located at the bottom of her butt,
where the other hole is.
where the other hole could be. And I'm like, well, that does look odd to me. And she
Yeah.
goes, well, I think I'm just going to go with it. And I said, okay, fine. But you may want to tell Bruce so he doesn't think you ripped this wonderful wetsuit. So I wasn't there to witness this. C-Lew was. So would you like to continue the story, C-Lew?
C-Lew does a really great impression of how I told Bruce.
Great.
what was
Oh,
going
yeah.
Impression
on.
of Haas.
Oh yeah, so we get in the boat and we're about to go, and Haas is like, "Hey Bruce, I got this little hole in my behind," and he's all, "What?" And she's all, "I got this hole in my behind," and he looks at her like, "What
Your-
the hell is wrong with
Your
you?" Like,
asshole?
yeah, literally, like he's like,
We all
kind
have
of
one.
all do.
he cannot
We all do.
get it. And she's all, "Well, I grabbed this wetsuit from the shed." And he's all, "Oh, that's not your wetsuit." Like, he didn't even know it was their wetsuit. He was like, "Oh, that's our wetsuit? Okay." She's like, "I don't want to tear it or whatever." And he's like, "You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're totally fine." And sure enough, she gets up on the boat to jump out, and she puts her
She's kind of
puts
does
her
a
wakeboard
slide.
in, and
oh,
she slides off.
She slides her butt
the
off.
boat.
Like the edge of the boat when you're sitting on the
Yeah.
edge
and
of the
then
boat,
if
Yeah.
strapping
everyone-
in.
like there's that
Yeah.
little hook.
And there's a tie off
Yeah.
at the edge of the
Oh,
boat,
no.
and it goes
Perfect hole.
right into the hole. Her suit was like halfway
then
up her back, like
Just
Did you guys
stopped
get
her.
pictures of this?
no.
They were trying to help her, okay? But it just stopped. And then all of
so
us went,
funny.
oh, we know how
That's where the hole is.
came from.
yeah, especially because homeboy told her
because there was-
slide off. He specifically said
Yeah.
to slide
Slide
off.
off,
of it.
yeah.
He
That's
tells
so
everyone to
funny.
do that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
sorry, I definitely made that hole a little bit.
A little bit bigger. Sorry,
That was
Bruce.
really funny.
Yeah, sorry
Sorry,
about that, Bruce. But oh, it was a
That
funny
was funny.
story.
That was a good.
But anyway, back to your story. I'm glad you survived.
Yep.
Glad you got your board. I was gonna ask, like, what's the, culture within these surfers? Like, it sounds like everyone's pretty communicative and helpful. Like,
Yeah.
God forbid anything happens to you if you're just having trouble
For
trouble
sure.
swimming, or if you lose a board. Like, what's the community like?
So, the community is very strong. It's actually the coolest. It reminds me a lot of the lacrosse community.
Oh,
just
yeah?
because
Oh,
it's so
nice.
tight knit.
Yeah.
It's still a small enough sport that everybody knows each other.
That's
like
awesome.
I know guys from Durango. I mean, that's 6
Nice.
hours away, and I talk to them on the regular. Like, you guys going here? I'm going here, and we meet up and stuff. And we just know people from all over the place, and we're all very communicative and look out for each other. The rule is like always second in line, look behind. So if it's your turn and you're going, the next person in line is looking at the person that just fell.
Oh, I see.
In case they're stuck,
okay,
they can be
nice.
like, hey, help out. Or like,
So you have a
they're
system.
bored. Yep. And like, if someone loses their board, we always yell right, left, because your board will shoot off right or left.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so we
So
try-
everyone's
yeah.
helping out, looking out for each
Do you have
other.
any weird sayings like golf, like 4, which I still don't know what that means, but I mean I know what it means. I don't understand what.
So, yeah, I will say
Like, just in case we're around.
Definitely.
Like, I want to hear the lingo.
Try you. Like, you. Like, you.
Okay.
Oh, my God. If you go to a wave, you'll...
You. And
What does
Every
that
3
mean?
seconds. You.
Oh, okay,
You. Like, you
okay.
just see something cool. Like, you. Get it, bro. Like,
Okay.
oh, my gosh.
Kind of like
you'll-
a hang 10.
like a yeah, get it.
Yeah,
Like instead of
okay.
yeah, everyone's just like you. Like I don't know why. But,
Really?
Oh my
Okay,
gosh, it
I
is
like
huge.
that.
And I bet
Nice,
80%
nice.
of the time there's a shaka behind it. Like a super loose.
Okay.
You like
Yeah,
you'll hear
nice.
it so many times.
Will
when
you
go.
explain for the listeners what a shaka is?
A shaka is a gang sign. It is.
But I thought that was hang 10.
It is. It is hang loose.
It's the hang loose
It's
sign.
the hang loose
Loose
sign is
sign.
what it is.
But I feel like most
it is
people
a
probably
shaka.
don't know it as
Oh,
shaka.
I guess
so
that's fair.
I
not-
actually
we're not
never heard
filming.
it as shaka before.
yeah.
Huh? You've
I've
never heard it
that.
called
No,
that?
I just heard hang loose.
Hey,
Yeah.
we learned something new in the laundry room this evening.
you go.
Look at that.
I love it
Hang
when we
loose
learn
sign is
something
the
new.
shaka.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yep. And
So-
if you're really about it,
The whites
it's
are white.
the
We just
looser
learned
the
something
better.
new. The looser the
So
better.
you see someone doing this, you're like, that dude's a noob. You see someone like almost, yeah, that's perfect.
You can't
almost like
see
you're not
us,
even
but we're
trying.
all over here
Almost like
shaking
you're not
our
even trying.
I am
Well,
not
Christy
trying.
had hand
and I
surgery,
do-
so
and-
she can't even do it. So that's why.
I like it.
Yeah, I've had.
No.
Well, I will tell my hand surgeon, hey, I found something good.
That's
like,
good.
that I can do. So,
I'm really
yeah.
good at the shaka.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
even.
really good at the check.
I'm not even kidding. That's good.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
a
I
good
can't wait.
taco.
Next time I water ski, I'm going to try the one
Yeah.
hand. Try.
Woo! You.
Yeah.
It's Y. The way that I registered it is YEW. You.
You.
We sound so old. I feel like
You.
I'm trying to learn the terminology.
Yeah.
So obviously river surfing is becoming more popular because
Yeah.
in one of your videos that you posted on your Insta, there was a sign that said like limit to 1 minute per surfing or something.
What?
Oh.
So, like,
Wow.
people are trying to get in.
How long can you stay up?
So
Okay. Oh,
I'm.
you guys, this is not laundry room and lap dances. I thought this was laundry room and lattes.
We got
We need to
dirty
start.
cycle
okay,
tonight.
you guys, we just switched over. So
I'm
for
with you,
those
mister.
parents listening, this is going into laundry
Late
room
night
and
room.
lap dances. So anyway, I was referring to how long can you ride that particular wave?
Yeah,
Longer
well,
than a minute, apparently.
yeah, definitely. I
If
mean,
you're limiting.
technically, you could ride a wave straight for
As long as-
minutes.
yeah.
I mean, as long as your
So it's
legs
that,
can
and
take it
that wave is that consistent for.
for
that-
hours,
for
hours
okay,
on
okay.
end. But that wave that you were talking about specifically is that's the best wave in the state right now.
Is that the one in Buena Vista?
It's in Salida, which
Salida.
is 30 minutes from Buena Vista. It's
Yeah.
right down the street. The nice thing about the way I like to compare it to people is if you know like skate park terminology. A lot of waves that we have out here are mini ramps, which are like really small half pipes.
Yep.
Like really
Okay,
small
okay.
ramps.
Mm-hmm.
The Salida wave is like going to what they skate in the X Games.
Oh
The
man.
big 13-foot
Oh.
ramp. And there are people
13 foot?
Yep. That's what they skateboard in the X Games. But
But this wave
Wow.
yeah, but this wave isn't that big.
Yeah.
by
Well,
any
no,
means.
but I
is
understand.
just by
but-
Yeah.
comparison.
well,
yeah.
even I don't care what you're doing. 13 foot. is
They are big,
really
yeah.
high.
Skate-
No
we
matter
could-
if you're
we could do
skating,
we could do a
wakeboard,
video
I don't
on
care what you're
skateboard
doing.
ramps. Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, it's super high.
Yeah.
But this is like the pipeline, the big boy ramp. This is like the expert wave, and a lot of people will come who don't really know how to get left to right. They're
yeah,
still
if this is
learning.
your first rodeo,
Yep.
this might not be a good choice.
A good choice, especially when the water's really good, and the water was very good this season. And the other thing that's a little bit different about that wave compared to other waves is there's a surf shop less than 100 yards away,
Oh,
and they rent gear.
that's awesome.
So people are out there on like a hot
That-
tub retreat for the weekend with their
that
family.
doesn't seem right. Why would you throw them into that?
Well, there's
Is there- are
there's
there-
other waves. There's other waves they could go
Do
to.
they tell them? Do they? Okay.
They definitely let them know. And there's
Is there signs like like in Mexico they have signs on the beach like red flag like.
Oh,
rough-
yes.
Are there signs for the river? that you
yeah,
guys know?
especially that wave. They're very
Okay.
on top of it.
Oh,
They even
good.
have a giant rack of like free life vests. There's like 100 life vests for people
That
to
are just
grab.
free
Like
and-
just take it, put it back when you're done. If you
Hey, that's where
Good,
we'll drop
please,
off
like-
my Smarge outgrew her life vest. Well, I didn't outgrow it. I could zip it, but I also wanted to breathe, so I had to make a choice.
Yeah, you could
I-
donate that
Yeah,
100%.
you know what? I'll give it to you tonight, and you
Cool.
can donate
I'll
it
donate
forever.
it 100%
Yeah.
for you. But yeah,
is Coast Guard
I mean, they
approved.
let everyone know, but you show up and you look at everything and you see that wave, and it's like a water park wave. It looks like you're at Water World. You
Yeah.
know,
I
it's
can't even
gorgeous. It's
imagine.
super nice.
That's
Everyone's
awesome.
there. There's music blasting. There's pros sometimes. One of the biggest pros showed up this year.
What?
Like there's night sessions. I've surfed that wave till midnight before.
No
We're out there
way.
with
Is it
lights,
like they have the lights? That
yeah,
Oh.
they have lights, and there's even guys who bring lights and they jump into the wave and lay it at the bottom of the wave and light up the wave.
That's so
That would be
cool.
awesome.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness! Next time something like that's going on, invite us.
Do you
we
have
should
videos
go
of that?
camping like next year for
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I can show you guys some
I didn't
videos.
get my
we could
I
post some
didn't get
videos.
Tessie out this year, so
Should we do a classic road trip down
We
to
should.
Salida?
we
Classic
should.
We
I think we
should.
should put that on
DLCC
our,
road trip.
We should.
Yeah, we should put that on our calendar for beginning of camping season.
And then we
next
can make
year.
it up to the hot springs at Mount.
And
Yeah.
I'll break
There's
Tessie
three.
out.
There's
I
three
have the
different hot springs.
best
Oh.
tent.
All right.
Tessie the tent.
Got a plan.
Tessie the tent. You got a tent named Tessie.
I have a tent named Tessie,
That's
but
dope.
I mean, it's a. I mean, if you're gonna put Tessie up, it's a 3-night minimum.
That's fine.
You know,
It's like
it's a
glamping?
campus.
There's-
She's
it's a
Big
canvas
Bertha.
tent.
There's BLM land galore up there.
Oh,
But
hell
it is
yeah.
a
Free
4-season
camping and
tent,
stuff.
so you can
Yeah.
even do it in the winter if you want it.
That'd be sick.
And
That'd be
it-
cool. We got a
I
travel
think
trailer.
I found
We'll
somebody
bring the
that will
trailer,
might.
so.
I cannot find anyone to winter camp with me. I just want to do it for a night or
No, I'm not going.
I
I
might
think
not go.
two. C-Lew might go with it.
I'll do it if there's surf.
And now, a word from our sponsors, Arlo Carpentry. We've been serving the Denver metro area for the last 6 months. If you need any type of carpentry, please call Arlo Carpentry at 970-213-9389. Arlo Carpentry. We're gonna nail it for ya.
You never know.
You'd surf in the winter.
I've surfed in the winter. I've
The
surfed this last
river
winter.
doesn't
Moving
freeze
water, yeah.
over. You just have to go
Tessie,
early
you
enough.
can even
Moving.
buy one of those little
Yeah.
stoves, and it has like the hole in the tent for to put the pipe through and put the little
Wait, really?
floor. Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
that's
I'm
pretty
still
cool,
not going.
actually. I might go. That sounds actually pretty
Okay.
cool.
I
Otter
hate the
is
winter.
out. Well,
Otter
you
will
know-
be in the water in the
otter
summer.
be in the water. Yeah. In the.
Should
yeah.
be in the hot springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be in the
springs are
hot
nice.
springs while you guys are in the
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Otter books very nice Airbnbs. She's very particular.
She is
about
really
where
good
she
about
stays.
that. Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
She's got to
Except
see
that one
every
time.
We don't
room.
talk
Yep.
about that.
I like it.
It was not your fault.
I like it.
She got to see every room.
'Cause
She
I
got to
call
see every
Otter.
bed.
Yeah.
She has to know exactly where she's staying.
You
does.
guys know
Very
this about me. I've
particular.
got to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't be staying in a janky place. And
Fact.
Yeah, you gotta be
Sometimes I like to just be surprised and just show up.
Did
Be
I
like,
share with you guys, kind of off the subject, but did I share with you guys, we had this wedding, this beautiful wedding this last
which one was
summer.
Just kidding.
Yeah, there's been a couple babies,
kidding.
couple weddings, but the last wedding
Mm-hmm.
up in Lyons, Colorado. And we had a VRBO, or was it a
Just both.
Airbnb?
We got
I don't
both.
remember. But
Yep.
anyway,
Test
the
both
house I
waters.
was staying in, I think it was during the dinner, or it was right after the dinner.
Oh yeah.
Or no, it was when we're all getting ready. Actually, it was before the ceremony. And we're all getting ready. So, it was a little stressful. Things were just, stress is a little high,
High
right
stress
before a wedding.
situation.
yes.
And I get this phone call, and I just decline it. I'm like, I'm busy. And then they call back 2 other times, and I'm like, oh, I better answer it. So I answer it, and it's whoever I'm renting from. And they said, is there any way that you could please leave the premises, check out early tomorrow morning? And I said, well, what is checkout time? And she said, it is 10 o'clock. And I said, there is no way that I can do that. And then she
I will be
said,
leaving at 10.
yes, there is. And I said, oh, no, you don't understand. No, I just can't see me getting my family moving and me moving and out of there any earlier than 10.
Did you tell her what was happening
Yeah,
that day?
we have a wedding,
Yeah.
and she said, oh. I said, so I'm sorry, I can't help you. And she goes, well, actually, you could help me. You have chosen not to.
Oh my god.
I hope you left them a weird review. I don't know why she would say that.
And then she's like, you've ruined my whole day. And I'm just like,
You're like, it's my daughter's wedding.
I'm like,
What?
what? I go,
what are you supposed to do?
What?
Checkouts at 10. Like,
You're a business.
And I
Yeah,
have a problem right now with checking out at 10 and I mean, that is fucking ridiculous.
That's early enough
noon.
anyway
How
for
about
Smarch.
noon? Like,
Yeah.
and even a hotel. I mean, they don't let you check in
10
until
is
4
early.
o'clock, and then they're telling you need to be out at 10 or 11. No, it should just be noon.
Yeah,
Agreed.
hotel usually lets you check out at like 11 or
It's
noon
usually
sometimes.
11.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but no,
10 a.m. 's even
10 a.m.
early.
And I'm like, oh, that was our rental place when we went for the bachelorette party was 10 a.m.
Yeah, and then when we went
I
for the
think it's
podcast
ridiculous.
convention, they let us check out at like noon. They didn't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airbnbs
whatever you
are
want.
actually on the decline. They
So
just
anyway-
did a big news
Yeah.
story on
Oh,
it.
is it?
Oh,
So
really?
anyway,
Yeah.
it was because
Because of reasons
disheartening
like that.
It's disheartening. Like I didn't
Yeah.
have that kind of stress right then. And then I'm like, so finally I just said, you know what? She says, well, what time will you be out? And I just said, you come whenever you want, and if you can get my family to move,
Ooh.
go for it. And I just happened to wake up at 8:30 that morning. I had my own car, and I just got in my car and left.
Yeah, she left me.
Gone.
I woke up at like 10 and she was gone. And I was like,
Wait.
And she came with
Wait,
me.
wait. What
And
were
and
you
then
doing at
halfway
her
home-
Airbnb?
No,
You
no,
had
she
your
wasn't.
own
No.
place.
No,
we drove up together.
We drove up to
So
it.
I
I
just
was her
arrived.
ride. I was
She
her
my ride.
And I was so,
Oh.
I was so angry that I thought if I run into this lady,
I'm going to lose it.
I'm going to lose it because
Right,
it was
good
just
call.
and like her saying, "Oh, you could help me, but you chose not to." I'm like, I don't usually like to make more shit for people, you know. I'm just like, what are you talking about? So I woke up, I felt good. I got in the car, and then halfway home, I text everybody going, "Hey, make sure Haas has a ride home."
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I guess.
And to be honest, there was only room in my car for one other person.
Yeah.
I had all the
Oh, you
wedding
had all the
gifts, I had all the
flowers?
flowers. I had
Yeah.
everything left over in that car. It was packed to the hilt. So I did have room for one person, and I did remember halfway home. I'm really sorry.
Oh my
I
god.
made it home.
But
At least
see,
you
was
remember.
fine.
Airbnbs are on the decline
Yeah, they
for
are.
reasons like that,
Okay,
or
well-
reasons like these astronomical cleaning fees, but then they
my
still give you a
God.
whole book of before
Oh,
you
yeah.
leave, do the laundry, take
Yeah.
out the trash.
Or the
Wipe
SWAT
the
team showing
toilets,
up at
clean the
3 in the
floor.
morning.
Yeah,
You heard about the
it's
SWAT team
ridiculous.
Yep,
showing up
SWAT
at 3
teams.
Yeah, 3 in
And
the
they
morning.
don't check codes. They don't check codes. They'll let you register anywhere, even if your county doesn't allow it.
Tell
Right.
us your favorite horror story from an Airbnb, C-Lew.
Ooh,
I think
could
it's
this-
yours, too.
Wait,
Oh.
could this be? Wait, guys. This might be another skid
Another
mark
skidmark session.
cycle.
Oh, my gosh. This was like a
Might
full
need
of
extra
sharp.
bleach.
I
I think
sharp
tidy
right.
whities. I think the tidy whities are. We're gonna put extra.
We're going to need
bleach
some
in.
bleach.
Yeah, this was
Let me
bad.
just
Bleach pen
preface
out.
the story.
Okay.
So we were in Florida going to Universal Studios.
Having
for-
the best time of our freaking life.
yeah, they do these awesome like late night events.
Are you listening to all this, little monkey?
And so we first rented a car through Turbo, which turned out to be a mistake because the car broke down on us earlier that day.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
Turbo.
It's
Turbo.
like Airbnb for
Turbo.
cars.
It was
it's
also
car
Simone.
rental.
It was
Turbo.
also Simone's
That's
fault.
hilarious.
That was my fault. Anyway, so that was a
We were
nightmare.
batting bad.
We finally do get to Universal, have a great time that night. We get back to our Airbnb. It's 1 in the
Like
morning,
it's
2
like
in the
2
morning. And C-Lew, do you want to
Yeah,
take
so
it over from here?
we just can't get into our. All right, so we walk up to the door to get into our Airbnb, and we cannot get into our Airbnb at all. And the Airbnb is
Mm-hmm. It's one of those digital codes.
Yeah, it's a
and
digital code, and then you twist the lock. to
the
open
lock
the
won't
door.
twist.
Well, next thing we know, the lock is just spinning in circles.
No.
Oops.
Yes,
Oh,
and it's 2 a.m., so we're freaking out. So we start calling the Airbnb host.
Right. Like, what else are you supposed to do?
We're like, what are we supposed to do? He is not answering the phone at all.
oh,
Of course
no.
he's
So
not.
then finally he refers us to his property manager, who is like 45 minutes away from the premises because the host actually doesn't live in the state.
Yeah,
Let's
so
He's
call
like,
him
I-
out by name. His name was Josh, and he sucked.
Josh did not help us.
Yeah, screw you, Josh.
Josh does not
Thanks a
live
lot,
by the Airbnb.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh in Orlando, Florida,
Josh,
kissing
you have
me,
disappointed.
kissing me,
Yeah.
Florida, right?
So he sends his property manager, who's like, he shows up and he's like, well, I don't have the key. And we're like,
No one has a key. There's a front desk. There's no key on site. There's no key at the property manager's house. They don't know what to do but to open this lock. So the property manager takes 45 minutes to show up. It's like 3:30 a.m. at that point.
Oh my
we're
God.
exhausted. We've
He
been going all
says,
day. We've
"I
walked
gotta-
Universal for miles.
For miles, like 14, 15 miles. We're sitting there, and the property manager tells us, I got to call a locksmith. The locksmith takes about 30 minutes, and he shows up, and he says, I can't do this. I need backup. I need to call another locksmith.
Are you
I've
kidding
never heard
me?
of a locksmith needing back.
They needed another locksmith.
Dude, it was insane. I think we got in close to like 4 a.m. It was like,
But that was after the third locksmith. They had to call 3 locksmiths. We finally get into our Airbnb at 4:30 in the morning.
2 different companies were working
Okay, you
together
guys,
to try to
at
figure
what
out this
point
door.
did you not think maybe a rock and a window?
We were sleeping in the car on and off trying to
No,
wait
but
for the
why-
next.
Get
but why
another
wouldn't-
Airbnb
couldn't you, like-
for now.
We
or
did.
something.
So they suggested, we can, we can get you a hotel. But here's the thing: all of our stuff was locked in the Airbnb. We didn't have our pajamas. We
you
didn't have our
guys
medication. Couldn't
already
take out our
checked in.
contacts.
I thought you hadn't checked in.
No,
yet.
we had already been checked in, so everything was locked in there, and we couldn't get in there.
I
And
see. That makes more sense. I was like, just leave.
and then we get 2 hours of sleep before the next locksmith comes to replace the lock, and
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
the people
You guys
above
are
us, you could
sleeping
hear.
in your car in between.
Yeah, for
I mean,
about
until
3
the
hours,
until we could get in, and I mean, yeah.
Why
long
didn't you
story
break a window?
Long story. Well, we did think about that, but anyways, long story short, we ended
Because
up.
worst case, the police would have come. But I
We
think you
ended up
needed
getting
their
a
help at that
hotel.
point.
Yeah, we
C-Lew found us a hotel,
we
which
made
was
it
much
right.
better.
We moved out
Okay.
that like
and
that
then I
next
fought
morning.
with Airbnb and Josh for like a month until we got a refund.
Nice. You got
back.
a
you had to
refund then?
fight that? I would
Yeah,
have been
because he was like,
Bro,
"I will give you
what?
back $50 for half of one day," and I'm like, "Excuse
What?
me, half
Because
of
you
one
were
day?
only
We didn't get to
locked-
sleep in the place
because you were
because we were
only
locked
locked
out all night.
Yeah, absolute nightmare.
We don't get Airbnbs just so our luggage can sit in there."
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I was.
Bullshit.
If little
That's when
Al and Monk,
Mama Otter was created.
Oh, yeah.
Mama Otter came out. She's ready.
I just have to say,
I was
if
livid.
little Al and Monk decide to listen to this in 20, 30 years or whatever when they're young adults, are they going to be like, what the hell is this Airbnb? What the hell
Actually,
is this?
probably.
What is this?
Probably.
VRBO?
It'll be called something else.
What
It will.
the
Some
hell is
some
this?
other trend.
You know, maybe it'll be gone for a while and they'll bring it back. You never know. That's just it. You never know.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
It's like a
Seriously.
hotel.
They
it-
won't be driving.
so
we won't
It
be
was
driving.
good because Airbnb started out like better than a hotel. Like,
Give
it
a
saved
brief
you
description.
money.
Just
Brief description in
So-
case anyone doesn't know what an Airbnb
well, I'm just
is.
talking about like
Oh.
maybe in 20 years,
People who own
Monk will
homes.
be like, what the hell are they talking
They
about
own
here?
apartments, townhomes, houses, and then they rent out those homes. Not for renters. I mean, some people do live there long term, but
Short-term
short-term
vacation.
rentals. I think
Vacation
vacation rentals.
rentals.
That's exactly what it
Rentals,
is. So
yeah.
people will go and stay in your home for a couple days, couple
You'll
weeks.
supply them with hopefully with clean sheets, towels, and
But
certain amenities.
it's gotten ridiculous to now where Airbnb is like charging astronomical prices
Oh,
with
it's
all these random
ridiculous.
fees. You
They're
pay
asking
like
you to clean their
1
grout
to
before
200
you leave.
Yeah, they ask you to
Seriously.
do all this cleaning before you leave,
There's
and it's like,
cameras
why am
all
I
over the
paying a
house.
cleaning
Yeah.
fee?
Like,
Anyways,
so crazy.
I don't know. It's kind of dying. I think hotels are just kind of where it's at. There's always someone at the front desk in case you get locked out of your room. You
Yeah,
know,
Mm-hmm.
so
exactly.
For
You
sure.
don't have to call
Hotels
10
provide.
locksmiths, but
yeah, ridiculous.
but anyways, back to surfing.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so let's jump back real quick. So, I mean, this year has been super heavy. A lot of water this season. Salida has been phenomenal. Salida is one of the biggest waves in Colorado right now. Just so, like, I mean, the sport is, like, really growing right now. And
Awesome.
I knew that it was growing, but I didn't realize how much it was growing. And I think the next, like, 2-3 years is going to be...
What made you realize? Like, what was the one thing where you went, wow, this is much bigger than I had realized?
So the big thing was probably the lineups at the Salida Wave this year. We were getting like hour-long waits in between
Oh
rides.
my God.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and it was like
Wow.
I was there one day, 50 people on one side, 43 on the other
And these
side.
people just came from all over.
Oh, California.
Don't you hate
Oregon.
that? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of love hate it. It's like,
It's like I love it, I
cool,
hate it.
but-
It's cool, but it's
Yeah.
like wow, this is sort of crazy, you know. But the big thing was Buena Vista announced that they are actually going to build a replica wave, and that's right up the street, which is 40 minutes or 30 minutes.
Oh, that'll
away.
be nice. That may.
So
I was just going to
Get you
ask,
out
are
there.
there any new waves on the horizon?
there's a lot of new waves. So Buena Vista is building that wave. Tulsa, Oklahoma just got approved and started breaking ground yesterday
Oh.
for a new wave, and they should have that up by spring this next year.
That's
so
awesome.
Wow.
Oklahoma will have one.
Who funds these? How is this funded?
It's usually
How
the
does this
city. It's usually the city. However, this next wave I'm going to talk about is actually all privately owned. It's a wave pool. That's a standing wave. That's going to open up in Dallas, Texas. And that opens up November 15th.
And that's an actual pool.
A pool, but it's an exact replica of the river waves.
Nice.
You know, so
Cool.
You have your tickets booked?
get your Yeah, I'm talking to them right now. I'm hoping to come out during testing beginning of October and get to ride this wave a little bit. They're opening up a wave park in right outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Like right
okay.
outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
That'd be a good.
And that's a park. That's going to be a pool again, or is that on the
pool.
river?
Yeah, that's
okay.
another pool. So the big thing is like there's gonna be about, I'd say, 5 or 6 pools in the next 4 years,
Wow.
and they're all gonna be in really dry climates like deserts. Which
Where else are we
crazy.
going to surf?
Exactly.
Yeah, where else?
Like,
We don't have
Middle of
ocean.
the
What do you
desert.
think this is done for? Like, do you think this is going to help with water conservation awareness, or what do you think this can work that way at all?
I think all right. So I think it does
With
two
just
things.
so many people getting so interested in it.
Yeah, and I think it does two things. All right, so the wave pools that they're building, they've really learned how to reuse the same water.
Mhm.
So they're really learning how to restore water in that community.
Nice,
So yeah, they may
nice.
take a big pool right off the get-go, but after that, it's just electricity at that point. And
Okay.
luckily in deserts, they're able to generate a lot of electricity through solar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hoping to
Right,
be able to
right.
run some of these plants off solar. The thing about the rivers is it's like really helped out the different communities, as in now people actually care about that spot. Like
Right.
the spot that I go to, particularly in Denver, it's right next to a waste management site. Like I grew up
I know
in that
exactly
area.
what you're talking about. I didn't even realize that that was a dump.
Yeah, it's
A landfill.
It's a landfill. It's a dump.
can smell it.
Yeah, sort of. Some mornings you can definitely smell it. You can. Luckily, the wave is upstream, so it like blows.
Right, right,
upstream.
yeah,
But
okay.
it is right over there, and I mean that whole area. When I was a kid, if you rode your bike through there, it would pop a tire, whether it was
Yeah.
needles or glass. Like it was like a really bad area.
So people are
And
taking care of the areas.
People take care of the
That's
areas.
nice. That's
we
great.
restore the areas. There's tons of wildlife up in that area now.
No, that makes the colors a little brighter, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and I've noticed that through all the
Nice.
waves, and that's happening in Salida right now too.
Nice.
So I
That's
think
awesome.
in the rivers, it's
That makes
restoring
me
the
happy.
area, and in the areas they're building pools, it's helping them conserve water, which is pretty sick. So
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Very cool.
yeah, definitely.
So, how late into the season do you think you're actually going to be able to surf?
I mean, this year's a different world compared to what I'm used to, because I'm gonna have 2 wave pools to choose from.
Yeah,
I know they're in
that's
different
true.
states, but technically, like,
You can
it's
keep
only
going
a
though.
10-hour
Yeah.
drive, like a 2-hour flight, you know?
Right.
So it can definitely keep going. I'm probably going to go until November this year and then stop until,
So would
like,
you be wearing the dry suit at that point?
depending on...
To me, it sounds like it's just gonna get a little
Yeah,
colder.
yeah, I will wear my wetsuit the whole time. I don't have a dry suit,
Oh, okay,
unfortunately,
okay.
but I'll definitely wear the wetsuit the entire time if I need to.
Yeah, because I would think, because it's just gonna get cooler.
Yeah, it's just gonna get colder. The nice thing is the wave pools will run their water at 85 degrees,
Ooh,
so it may be
nice.
cold
Oh,
out, but the water will be warm.
Wow, I didn't
That's
realize
See, there's a
that.
way
Like-
to surf all year.
all year
year
round.
long.
That is
Um,
awesome.
We
That
did a
is
wave
nice.
pool once, October 15th? Or no, October 3rd. It was for your cousin's wedding. But it was October 3rd. It was cold. It was like 55 degrees outside. And I was
Happy
in
birthday,
board shorts, and
little monk.
it was
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Oh, that
so.
is Little Monk's birthday.
That's little monk's birthday.
that really
October
little-
3rd.
yeah?
I did have
Yeah.
to
That's,
smart.
that's,
Had to
that's
say
my
that.
dad's birthday.
Oh, no way.
Hey,
Yeah.
see,
He looks like my
Well-
dad. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Dad?
C-Lew, knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange your side. It's not your dad.
Hi,
It's just yeah, just part of
Where
our
is
little
it?
dead dad's club. That's all.
Yeah.
DDC.
And now Haas is just scrambling to flag it. She's like, "Oh my god."
I know. Gotta have a dead dad joke in there at least once.
Well,
But yeah, I'm gonna stop for a couple months this year. I'll probably stop like November, December, January. You gotta stop.
Get
you
your
gotta stop.
holidays
something.
eventually.
I gotta eat a bunch of food, gain some weight. I gotta
Yeah.
Just
Just like any sport, you know.
Yeah.
You need a little off season to enjoy the on season.
You
so if
got to.
DLCC got you a life vest. Would you wear it?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I have a
it's
life
nice.
vest.
You're still sticking with that one?
I'm rocking that one.
I think you should.
I don't
If
think
we embroidered
What if-
it for you.
What if we got you a helmet?
I will rock gear.
if we
I
get
do
you a
have a
helmet.
helmet too, actually.
Is
But
there a particular type of helmet you would like?
I'll
don't
rock.
know.
I'll rock gear for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get.
I could really use a surfboard. Just kidding.
No.
I'll spray paint it all over, dude.
I've seen your collection.
Yeah.
You do not need another surfboard,
But you
and
guys-
your wife is nodding
There
her
is
head in
something
agreement.
about it. Like if we did get C-Lew a surfboard, we could probably put on it whatever we wanted. We could probably put on.
Could be your main sponsor.
Yeah, we could probably put on Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, right?
DL-double-C.
We can.
Yeah.
We could talk about making some sponsor stickers.
Yeah.
Would be
We should.
Probably a cheaper option and.
Great minds think alike in the laundry room, don't they?
Let's do it.
Well, C-Lew, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today, hanging it out to dry. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and do 5 on the line, where we ask our listener, or our not our listeners, our NTRG,
Not the real guest.
5 questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start, C-Lew.
Awesome.
What was your favorite family vacation?
Well, my family only actually took one vacation growing up, so it was probably
Ever?
that one ever.
Ever? Wow.
What?
One.
Yeah, so
ever.
we did.
And remind me, when did you lose your dad?
I lost my dad when I was like 25.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah, so-
you guys just weren't big vacation.
We just didn't have the money to really.
Absolutely
And
understand.
in high school, it was either play competitive lacrosse and like let my sister do summer camps and stuff, or do a family vacation. And
Right.
it was like
Which probably makes sense to why now you're so into your vacations.
super into my vacations,
Yes.
and I fell in love with traveling, playing competitive lacrosse because I would travel with the teams,
Yeah.
you know. So it was like,
Nice.
yeah. Now I'm just like super into my vacations and really about it now. But as a kid, we went to Disneyland, which was so sick. I mean, I remember
Disneyland.
that. Yeah,
Rock.
yeah, it was super
love it.
dope. And then we went to Universal and just like hung out and stuff. And
Is this so? This was your first. So
this was
so-
my first.
So the second time you went with Otter, that was your second time to Universal.
Oh, no.
They go
He's
all the
gone like
time.
so many times,
Oh,
and
he's
he
a
introduced me and my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
a
very
good
nice.
hiatus there. Like I went when I was like 5,
Okay.
and then I went to Disney World when I was like 15 with my lacrosse team. We like
Okay.
went out there for a lacrosse tournament
Yeah,
and got to do
okay.
some parks.
Nice.
And then after that, I took Allie. I took Allie to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal.
I want to go.
Nice.
That's so
Now
good.
that's in California as
No.
well. Now.
Now it is, yeah.
Now
Yep.
it is.
Yep,
Now
heck
it is.
yeah.
But it forever was in Florida.
It was,
correct?
yep.
It's both
in
places.
both.
I
It's
mean,
in both.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is both now. But
But it's pretty rad. I mean,
But that is where you proposed to your
that is
wife.
why I proposed to my
Oh,
wife. Was in the
right.
Wizarding World. Yes. Yeah. Super
fucking
nerdy.
cute.
Yeah,
Adorable.
I love
definitely.
it.
oops, I said the F word. But anyway,
That's okay.
Whatever.
fucking
We'll get
adorable.
the Tide pen out.
but
Yeah, we'll get the
Good
Tide pen. Thank you. That
There
was
it
so
is.
good, Otter. We need to
There
get the
it
Tide
is.
pen out. Yep. That's
yeah,
adorable.
we love it. Universal's like the
Apparently
adult
she said
Disney.
yes,
It's cool.
folks. Yeah,
A lot of
'cause
drinks.
she's here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
rides.
Okay.
Sick.
So then,
Nice.
what was your worst family vacation?
Or did we already cover
Was it when you had to go to that wedding?
What wedding?
next weekend?
Next
Oh yeah,
weekend, 'cause-
it's coming up. It's about to happen.
Stay tuned. Yeah, there's
No,
a.
we're just kidding.
No, the one.
Actually, no,
Oh.
that's a lie. I have taken 2 family vacations. We just took a family vacation. We just
That's
went to
right. It
Mexico.
doesn't have to be when you were younger. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And-
family's
no,
family.
I
could be
just-
best friend. I mean, family is what.
This was
make
technically my worst family vacation. It was
Okay.
still a good family vacation, but I mean, it was worse than the first one.
It. Okay,
That's
I
for
can't
sure.
wait
All right,
to
We
so
hear.
1 out of 2.
Okay,
we-
we're gonna listen to the second one.
We just went to Mexico, and I mean, don't
Where
get
in
me
Mexico,
wrong.
do you
We
remember?
went to Playa del Carmen, and
Okay.
we stayed in Playa Car, which is like a gated community right off 5th Avenue. So you got like some of the super gnarly like downtown stuff of 5th Ave, and then the super wealthy rich. You know, we were like
I've
in the
never
rich.
been, so-
Yeah, so I mean, it was like it was an okay experience. We love Playa. Me and Allie have been there before, and we love it down there. We were in the jungle a little bit more last time. This time was just pretty hectic. It was
Do they have crocodiles there?
they do. I think
Do they go on the beach
they have alligators.
or alligators?
I
Yeah,
think they have
alligators.
Oh, sorry. I think I do mean alligators.
Yeah.
Crocodiles are more.
Salt.
I think the
water.
Crocs are back in Aussie.
The Aussie.
Yeah, I
Is
think
the,
that's
yeah,
the only place
that's the
they are.
Aussie. You're,
But you have to worry about them in the ocean.
Yeah,
Because they're
Excuse
salt
me?
water.
I thought it was opposite.
No,
I
but I
thought
thought-
alligators
No,
were.
I thought.
No, alligators are like all over
Freshwater.
Florida, like in
Yeah.
the
I
middle
know,
of their
but
highways.
can't they also go
What's
into
in
salt water?
What's in Florida?
alligators.
Those are
alligator
alligators.
fly.
Maybe they can for a little bit.
Like a
I
little
don't know.
bit.
I have no clue.
And
We'll
crocs
have to
get
look that
bigger.
up.
Crocs like, oh, who is the guy?
Steve
Crocodile
Irwin.
hunter.
Oh, God bless Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
Wait, so
So
why
your
was
worst-
that
yeah,
your
why
worst?
was the
sorry,
situation?
sorry.
It was
And
just-
we haven't even had shots of
It's all good.
Don Julio.
It was
Sorry.
just a really hectic vacation.
I wanna hear what
You
happened.
go with your whole family, and there's,
Oh,
Yeah.
there's 13 of us, and it was just absolutely.
is it like
13?
herding cats?
It was super crazy. And we're all, like, all my cousins are. My closest cousin is 13 years younger than me. So
Oh wow.
it's quite a big difference, you know.
Oh my
and,
gosh! So
like-
you were with a lot younger.
Well, my cousin and then my
kiddos.
aunts and everyone were there, but
still.
still,
But this
yeah.
is for your grandparents,
This was for my
wasn't it?
grandparents,
So you have
yeah.
a whole range of ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was just
man.
like
That's
the
hard to
super young to
accommodate.
the super old. Everyone
What was the worst
splitting
thing
up.
that happened?
I got sun poisoning.
That's bad.
I went out.
Were you the only one?
Yeah. But
Where
I
did you get it?
on the beach. Boogie boarding. I was boogie boarding and I got seasick.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! No way.
yeah. Yeah.
Wait! You got seasick on your boogie board?
My
like,
boogie
did
board.
you take your Were you
I
in
took
a
it
boat?
out to the ocean.
That
No, I
doesn't
took it out.
seem like
I just,
that
You
would
took
happen to
this
you.
boogie
I
board
rented
out
it. I
yourself.
rented it.
And you rented
I even
it.
went and rented it. I was like, I'm gonna go shred these waves. Grab this boogie board. I
Okay,
had a
little
pina
Alan
colada
Monk,
in my
if you ever
hand.
rent a boogie board.
So
Make sure
first
you
you
know what
got
you're doing.
seasick, and then you got sun
And then
poisoning.
and then we came back to the hotel room.
How did
I
you
was
get seasick? Just being out there on the waves?
I was waiting for a wave, and it was
You weren't used to that
I was
movement.
just like, whoa.
Did you have a major sunburn?
I did sort of. It wasn't that bad, but I was really dehydrated. We all right. So
That
our
does it.
hotel room
Probably
had
drinking a lot.
bottles just on the wall, and we were just pouring tequila shot. Like we wake
Oh,
up tequila, and like
I'm
we
so, wait. In your hotel room?
Yeah, it was all inclusive, but yeah, in the room they had.
I've seen
giant
Is that what
liquor
all
bottles.
inclusive means?
And they'll refill it for you.
Yeah, they did. They had to
Yeah.
refill it first.
That's
I
awesome.
have never ever heard of that.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
it was
that's
rad.
so
It
gotta
was
make it
super
worth
rad.
it,
Oh,
too,
we
so-
totally.
So
And
funny.
yeah, I think the worst part too was the hotel was just boring. There wasn't a whole lot to do, but drink. So-
Yeah,
but
I mean that's what all-inclusive resorts are for. That's
True.
literally what you're meant to do.
yeah, but
But
getting
that sounds gnarly.
yeah, sunsick was not cool.
So,
Yeah.
since we started this whole podcast, Fuller Monk and Little Al, we want to know if you can remember your first childhood memory. Or what do you think it is? I mean,
I'm trying to think. First childhood
Or-
memory.
can you just
Like
or
when you think
memory or-
back as far back as to the first thing you can remember.
And we're not going to check you on this, by the way.
I remember. I'm trying to think here. Okay, I remember when there used to be a bowling alley off of Evans and Federal
Okay.
by the Target.
Yeah,
That used to
okay.
be a Target. There was a bowling alley.
I think it was a Kmart. as
There
well.
was a Kmart, but it was a
that's
Kmart before
Yep,
that.
Yep.
And I remember going to that bowling alley for like, I think it was one of my cousin's birthday parties.
Okay.
And
nice.
I remember they had they were tearing part of the side up to put in glow in the dark bowling.
Cool.
And I was like, this is gonna change the world. And I saw it afterwards
This
and
is
was like, this is
Like
This-
cosmic
this did-
bowling.
yeah,
This
yeah.
did
But it was
change
just like
the
it was
world.
just like 4 lanes.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
that's
4
adorable.
lanes they were
That's
doing.
cute.
Now
you
they
guys-
do that all the time.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
another
That's not the only
team
way they can
building
get people.
exercise. We
But-
can all
Yeah.
go bowling.
I had to
Bowling
still
together,
use the
yeah.
thing, the little like
bumpers
the little
for the-
pushing thing.
Oh,
I couldn't even
oh.
roll the ball. I had to still like
Oh, that's how little
you were young.
push the ball off the
Oh.
little roller.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
How
So-
old do you think you
3 or 4, I would
Probably
think.
3 or 4. I think
Oh,
it was
wow.
like right around the time I learned. Yeah, it was like right
Yeah.
before I learned to ride my bike without training wheels.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
probably like 3 or
okay.
4.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Number 4 on the line.
Number 4 on the line. Who was your role model growing up, and has that changed, and why?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely changed a little bit. I would say my role model growing up was probably Tony Hawk.
I was gonna guess that.
Yeah, probably Tony Hawk
Nice.
for sure.
Nice.
Not to be
Um,
confused.
Not to be
With Stephen Hawking.
with Stephen
Yeah.
Hawking.
That's a reference
Love
to
you
our
guys. I love
last
you guys.
season, so take a peek at that last
Yeah.
episode because that was pretty funny.
And Smarge does get confused with names. So.
And so that joke about the thing that Tony Hawk and Stephen Hawking have in common. Do you guys know? Do you know what they have in common?
Please
no,
tell
what
us.
do they have in common?
Tell me.
They both like ramps.
That is That's terribly good. That's horribly, terribly good.
Oh, that's
end it there.
funny.
But yeah, I think my first childhood role model was Tony Hawk.
Nice.
Just because it was like he had video games, he was a skateboarder, he was
Right.
like
He did
he
everything.
looked older and he was like still living the dream. You know, it was like that dude's the man for
So
sure.
can you
And
remember like what you're thinking about and looking at him going, oh, he's a lot older. He's probably what in his
20.
okay.
Probably
Yeah.
late 20s.
I'm
But,
just trying to get a judge of like how
but back
young
then,
you
skaters
were.
only
So-
lasted till like early
True.
20s.
Well,
you know,
I don't
so-
know even.
And now
yeah.
he's still going.
He's still going. Yeah. Now the game's
Nice.
completely different.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but
nice.
yeah, I mean, I was just thinking like this guy's living the dream. Skate park backyard. He's got a group of boys. His wife seems happy. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff seems like a really sick life.
Well, and everyone knew his name. He
Everyone
was
knew his
like-
name. Tons
yeah.
of money. I was like, every skater's about to be like this. There's about to be ton. But
nice.
that's obviously not the case anymore. I mean, as an adult, I don't know who I'd say my role model is as an adult to be complete. Dang, that's tough. Me. Just kidding.
Great answer.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good
Oh, I
answer.
love that. That
It
just
should
makes
be
the
you.
colors
I don't know.
brighter in the laundry room. You're right. Why can't it be? Look who you've become.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say me. That sounds so cocky.
No, it doesn't.
doesn't.
It's
You're your own
nice.
hero.
No,
I think that's
it's
very
nice.
admirable.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
Just
I
means
like
you
it.
got to the place you wanted to.
I
If
like-
anyone knows C-Lew, they know that's not a cocky statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do.
Yeah,
I like it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my all-time favorite. This is the last of the 5.
Okay.
So, what is the last song on your playlist you just listened to? Like, it could have been yesterday, this morning, whatever. Yeah, check that out.
Let's pull up the Spotify.
Yep.
No pressure.
The family plan.
The family plan. Yes, exactly.
I refuse to go to the family plan because I still get Hulu for free with my
Nice.
Spotify. So I'm like,
Oh.
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
no,
let it go.
still?
I'm not gonna let it go.
don't say anything. I don't want them to cut me off.
All right.
Hulu, are you listening?
Last song, right?
Yep.
It was I think it was either it's not on it is on shuffle, so we'll pretend this wasn't on shuffle. El Toro El Cantado. It's corridos. It's
Okay.
it's like the music I listen to when I
Okay.
do music, or not do music when I cook.
When you cook.
Yeah, when I like grill or
okay.
something.
Gets you in the
I
mood.
turn on Mexican
Get you.
music.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know
okay.
why.
He gets the salsa
get
with
you
the
in the
salsa.
mood.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Corridos. Corridos is like a genre. So
Genre.
if you type
Okay.
in like corridos, there's it'll pull up a ton type of playlist. It's like a type of Mexican music. So,
Nice. Is it one with the big band? Like all. or-
there's not really mariachis in it.
Okay.
And they'll mix it up a little bit too. Like they'll mix genres with
Nice.
it. But it is a type of Mexican. It's a little
I
bit
love
more
this
beachy,
question.
too.
This is why I
Okay,
love it.
so like
Yeah.
Yeah.
not reggaeton.
I'll
a
play
little bit
some
of
for you
reggae.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even. It's definitely. It's almost like it's almost like country, but not.
Okay.
Which is weird because I don't really like country.
Yeah.
It's real. It's super
real.
Mexican.
It's
Yeah,
real.
it's super.
All right.
That's not the response I
Mexitry.
thought you were going to
Not
say.
at all.
right?
I was waiting for like a total like
Yeah.
surf song.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Mexitry. Right?
Mexitry.
Mexitry,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mexican.
Yeah.
Mexican tree.
Yeah,
Mexican tree.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
There
say
you
that. I
go,
can't say
yeah.
that on here.
Thank you so much, C-Lew,
Thank
for
you.
coming back on. We
Yes.
can't thank you enough.
Of course.
You are
Yes.
always so welcome on
Yeah.
the podcast.
And we
You're always a
can't
pleasure.
wait for your first guest host session.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't wait
Can't
either.
wait.
So
Yeah,
stay
stay
tuned,
tuned.
It'll be a
everybody.
blast. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, before we wrap up this spin cycle, Haas and I would like to give a quick shout out to those listeners who may be famous. We really do adore you, and even though you do not qualify as an NTRG, not the real guest, we would always love to hear from you. This is Smarge and Haas, keeping it sorted, keeping it real, from the family laundry room. Be safe, stay even, and remember, when in doubt, go half.
Thank you for listening to Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. Follow us on Instagram at Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. And if you would like to be the next Not the Real Guest, please email us at dirtylaundrycleanconfessions@gmail.com. We would love to air out the dirty laundry with you.